All the best to you.
I will be there. Those 4 words can help you make a friend. And if you say it enough times and follow through, you will make a lifelong friend. Mr. Contest Chair, potential lifelong friends. Do you have someone that you can always count on? For me, it was Jenna. From grade school to college, she was my best friend. And whatever I needed, she was always there. Jenna, can I have some of your gummy bears? Of course. Jenna, I forgot to bring my lunch. Here, have some of mine. Jenna, do you want to go to McDonald's? How are you always hungry? You just ate. Twice. Growing up, we talked about college, we talked about the future, and most importantly, we talked about boys. Josephine, when I get married, will you? Jenna, I will be there. Those 4 words cemented our friendship. She was even there at my most embarrassing moments. I was driving one day. This is how I drive. When I noticed this little yellow gas light come on my dashboard. When I first started driving, I thought those warning lights were just suggestions. So I just kept on driving. When all of a sudden, I heard the engine sputter and stop. Should have filled up my gas tank. There's only one person I can count on when I needed help. I called Jenna, and she said, fine. I will be there. Now, what I'm about to tell you is a true story. An Asian and a blonde walked into a gas station. We had no idea what to do, but Jenna's dad said we had to buy a spare canister. So I bought one, and I carried it back to my car. I poured some gas into my tank. I turned the keys, but the engine sputtered and stopped. I tried it again, but the engine still sputtered and stopped. I was about to try a 3rd time when Jenna snatched that canister out of my hand. Josephine, did you put any gas in here? No. Was I supposed to? Didn't you notice that the canister was a little light? Yeah, but I thought that's why they call it gas. I really wish I was making that up. No matter what I needed, Jenna was always there. When we went to college, we shared an apartment together. Woo! Freedom! Said my parents. But then, I got busier and busier. Josephine, can you? Not right now. Josephine, can we talk? I don't have time. Josephine, I need you. Jenna, I'm busy. It was Jenna's first time away from her family, and she needed me. But I was never there. In friendships, there are warning lights, but I thought those warning lights were just suggestions. We stopped speaking. A lifelong friendship sputtered and stopped. Is there a relationship in your life about to sputter and stop? How long have you been ignoring the warning lights? It's been nearly 10 years since we've spoken. I found out Jenna got married. I wasn't invited. I wasn't there. Jenna had moved on with her life, but I couldn't. I needed help. And there's only one person I can count on when I needed help. I called Jenna. We went to dinner at McDonald's. I was afraid it would be awkward, but it was as if no time had passed. We laughed and talked about old times. Jenna, do you remember that time I ran out of gas? Yeah. My dad told that story at my wedding. I wasn't at her wedding, but I was a part of it. I was there. There are 4 words that can help you make a friend. If you say enough times and follow through, you will make a lifelong friend. At the end of dinner, Jenna turned to me and said, "Josephine, I'm having a birthday party. I was wondering, Jenna, I will be there."
Online audience, were you able to hear and see the screen, right? Okay, good. I should have asked it earlier. Okay, so now the speech that you have heard, the question I have is, what was the opening of the speech? How did the speaker open the speech? What did she say?
She started with a fact that if
Fact.
you want to make a lifelong friend,
Yes.
you only need
If
4
you
words.
want to make a lifelong friend, you just need 4 words. I will be there. Correct? What were the stories she shared in the speech?
The gas station.
The gas station story with her best friend. Nirdusha, what do you think?
Flatmate story.
Which story?
Flatmate.
Flatmate, yes. When she and her friend Jenna, they moved to a new place and they were sharing a flat, right? What else?
The wedding story.
The wedding story, that when she got married, she wasn't there, but that is also a story. Correct. And how did she conclude? What was the conclusion? How did she end her speech?
McDonald's story.
The McDonald's story. Right.
She passed on a message for the audience as well.
That those 4 words can cement us friendship. Correct. So this brings me that in her speech, we had a lot of stories, right? What is a story? A story is something which has an emotion with a character in a setting. I'll write it down. With a character with emotion in a setting. For the online audience, let me share the definition with you as well. Or we can say it is a sequence of events with emotions, characters in a setting. Now, in the speech that we just saw, what do you think the emotion was? At some point, she shared stories that really made you laugh or chuckle, right? Then there were times that your heart sank. Oh, her friend got married, but she wasn't cold, right? Emotions. There were characters.
Regret as well.
Regret, right? There were emotions. Then there were characters, meaning she called Jenna's dad. That is a character. Jenna, her friend herself, was a character. And in a setting. If we talk about that story in a gas station, you know how a gas station looks like, right? So in that gas station, there was an emotion which was sort of confused.
Confusing.
The speaker herself was confused what to do. That was the emotion for her, but it made us chuckle. Then we had characters, Jenna, Josephine, the speaker, and her dad. Those were characters. In a setting here was a gas station. So that is a story with characters in a setting with an emotion, right? That is a story. Now coming to storytelling framework. If you were to tell a story, how would you do that? In storytelling, we have three parts. The first, I like to call it a hook. Type it here too. It is a hook. What do I mean by that? A hook is something that is used to grab your audience's attention immediately. And you want to grab your audience attention at the very start when you come onto the stage because you have very limited time. It's just 7 seconds you want to grab your audience's attention because if you don't, you're just playing catch up for the rest of your 7 minutes. Prepared speeches here are for 5 to 7 minutes for guests. So if you are giving a speech, hook, I like to consider it as the most important part because you have the initial 7 seconds to grab your audience's attention. And the way you want to do it is, we can do it in 3 ways actually. The first is a question. Did the speaker in her speech ask a question? Sudhir, were you able to hear the speech? Vivek? Anyone from the online audience? Okay. Anyone here? Did you notice the speaker asking a question in the speech? Do you have someone you can count on? Right? That is a question. When you are giving a story, you could start by asking a question. It captures the audience's attention immediately. Then second, you can give a context. Just the way she did. She started by saying there are 4 words that can help you make a friend or a potential lifelong friend, right? That is setting a context for what you will talk about earlier. So you're telling what we are going to cover. That is context. Third is the story itself. You can start with the story itself. What do I mean by that? How many of you watch movies or TV series here? You watch it, good. Online audience? Oh, good. Okay. Have you seen those movies I don't know if it's the right way to put it, but towards the start, there's a very happy wife, and she's like the happiest ever person in the world. But we all know that in the next 5 minutes she'll die, and the guy would progress on to become a vigilante or something, right? Those crime documentaries. On top of my head, I can recall John Wick was a movie, or Gajini, maybe it happens like that. So there, they start with the story itself. And the way you want to start here is, again, you have first 7 seconds to grab your audience's attention, right? Start in a way that immediately makes them wonder that, oh, this is interesting. I'd be interested to hear this person for the next 7 minutes as well, right? So that is the starting of a speech. The way you do it is using a hook. And the first way you can do is using a question, asking a question to immediately capture their attention. Then you have a context. You tell them what it is about in a compelling manner. And lastly, you have the story itself. Does that make sense? Okay. Then we have, once you have grabbed your audience's attention, we have the body of the speech. What do I mean by the body of the speech? This is where your stories will begin. Now, stories are usually a set of timelines, like you have a childhood, adulthood, old age, or you start your story something about you did in the morning, afternoon, at night. So it follows a timeline. In the speech, we had what? When they were little, they shared school lunches together, right? Then they grew up, they shared an apartment together, and then they drifted apart and other things. But that was a story as well, which followed a timeline. Now, your stories are very specific to you. For example, if I were to talk about my friend, I'll talk about my specific experiences, which may or may not be relatable to you. The challenge here is you want to share a story in a way that your audience is able to feel as well. For example, if I were to share a day of my life at work, I'll start by there are two ways to do it. You tell me which one is more you are able to resonate, okay? I wake up in the morning, I cook my breakfast, and then I go to my Scrum call, and then I have a meeting with the product manager, and he gives me 10 Jira tickets, and then I work on there. This is first way to tell my story. Second is I wake up in the morning, I check my emails, I see, oh, my calendar is booked, and then I go on to the meetings with my senior people, and then I spend my day working on the task allotted to me. Two stories. Which one were you able to connect the most?
Second.
Second one.
Second was more generic. First one was little specific to your work.
Yeah. Why were you able to resonate with the second one more? Because generic, right? So you want to tell a story in a way, like for example, if this is the way that I shared the first story, if there were some technical people, they might understand. But doesn't mean that your audience is all technical, right? You want to share a story such that a diverse audience would be able to understand. The generic one, a college student might be able to relate what I'm saying. A housewife, a specific professional person will be able to recognize, right? So stories, you want them to share your own stories in a way that is authentic to you and your audience is able to relate to you as well. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Am I missing anything? Okay. Now that you know how to share your stories, how do you decide which stories to tell? This is where a message comes in. What is a message? A message is a takeaway that you want your audience to walk away with. In the speech that we watched, what was the message that the speaker was trying to say? What was the message that the speaker was trying to convey?
You have to be there for someone to
Be there for someone, right? So her message was, I will be there. And she gave us a message that to the audience that if you have someone, be there for them. And based around that message, the story is revolved around, right? When you are thinking about what stories to have in your body, the guiding light is the message. Okay? This is how you decide which stories to share. Then we have, after the body, what we call a conclusion. Okay. Conclusion, I like to define it as a synthesis of your stories. It answers the question that now that I have heard your story, what should I do? I know Josephine will be there when I need her. Should I be also be there when let's say Vidushi needs me? Probably yes, right? Your stories, your conclusion answer that. Now that I have been hooked to you, I have listened to your stories. What should I do? Should I read the book that you recommend? Should I be kind to the elderly people? Should I be a support system for those who need me? What is it? Conclusion is where you answer that question. Okay?
So Ayushi, just small doubt here. So how is message different from conclusion? Like it is my conclusion only, right? That in the end I'm just
Message
passing on the
is something, okay. The difference here is message is one level over the conclusion, meaning I will be there was the message of the speaker, right? But why? Why do you want to be there for the person? That was answered in the conclusion. Because is there a friendship that has been warning lights, but you are ignoring it? That was the conclusion. So you want to answer that my message is this, because if you don't, this might happen. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. You have a question?
I don't have a question. I was just adding on to your answer. Message is something that resonates throughout the speech. Conclusion is a summation of that message.
Conclusion is a summation of that message. Right. That is correct. Thank you. Okay. Now that you know how to write a speech, I have a speech template that will help you create a speech. Now, what is the difference between a story and a speech? A speech is a formal way of storytelling, but it includes majority of the part with story. Just to formalize, I wish that was working, but just a second. This is what I like to have as a speech template. Let me write it on the board as well. Is this visible at the very back properly?
yeah.
Okay. When drafting a speech, what to keep in mind? You need to first decide what a message will be. This will wrap or everything in one place. A direction in which your speech heads to. What is the one takeaway you want after your audience spends 7 minutes with you? Then you decide what your hook will be. How do you want to grab your attention, audience's attention in the very first 7 seconds? Then your stories. How will you decide what stories to include in your speech? With respect to your message. And lastly, a conclusion. Now that you have a core message in mind, you have stories to support your message. What do you want your audience to walk away with? When they walk outside that door or when they shut the Zoom meeting down, what do you want them to do? Right? That is your conclusion. And the way you all decide all of it is using your one message. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I have an activity for you. And the activity, okay, before I give the activity, how many of you have given your icebreaker speech? Okay, just 2 people in person. What about online people? You have never given a nice speech. Oh, Rupinder sir is saying no. Okay. Okay. So the activity today we have here is I want you to introduce yourself. It will be a 2 minute speech. We don't have time for 5 to 7. We'll just have a 2 minute speech where you will decide on a speech title, where you will share a speech title. You will use the speech writing template. You will decide on a message, a hook, your stories, and a conclusion. Okay? We will have 5 minutes to prepare your speech, and then one by one, I'll call you. You'll share the speech title with me. I'll introduce you, and then you'll give your speech. Clear? Timer, you don't have to time the 5 minutes. I'll do that. And the time starts. I can't find the clock. Now, okay. Decide on a speech title, use the speech template, and then we'll. 1 more minute and then we'll begin. Okay, 5 minutes are up. Who would like to give their first icebreaker introduction speech? Anyone? No? Sure. Aditya, welcome. What is your speech title?
My speech title would be Unplanned Moments in Life Called for the Most Beautiful Memories.
That's excellent. I plan
Unplanned moments
unplanned moments
in life called for the most
Call
beautiful,
for
make
the
for the
most
most beautiful
beautiful.
memories.
Aditya, unplanned moments call for the most beautiful moments.
Golden memories.
Memories. I'll just know it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone. It's my first take at this, so bear with me. Unplanned moments in life call for the most beautiful memories. I learned a while ago in life that one can't really wait for company when it comes to doing something you feel an urge for doing. Back when I lived in Europe, I used to be a very heavy solo traveler. And in my days in Ireland, on one particular Saturday, I took a bus to a random town in west of Ireland called Tralee. It was a coastal town, a very random Irish coastal town which had nothing more than what you would expect: a couple of pubs, a couple of schools, a couple of department stores, and just the sea nearby. The first thing I did after landing at 5 p.m. was I bought myself some sandwiches, some water bottles, and a blanket, and what is that thing? A sleeping bag, sorry. Just to know that I will be taken care of today in whatever way I am. I looked up Google Maps and I saw that there's this massive beach nearby called Bana Beach. And I decided to walk it. The walk was about 10 kilometers. As I almost reached the beach, my phone went off, discharged completely, no one around for miles, no accommodation, not one soul in sight. And I realized my mistake. I there was there When I reached the beach, I realized my mistake, which was that I couldn't see anything for miles and it was dark. That you can't really see anything in over the water at that point. But I realized I've made my bed and now I have to lie in it. So I sat down on the beach, realizing my mistake, and I started eating my sandwiches. And I looked up, and I kept looking up for 3 hours consecutively. And I stood up and I walked around for 2 more hours. I finished my food, but then I started walking back in complete bewilderment because I had just seen the largest collection of stars and galaxies and constellations I've ever seen in my life. Must have been some galaxy or the other. I walked back and I got a lift from someone who drove me back to Tralee and took a bus back to Dublin. I fell asleep immediately. And then after I woke up, I realized this wasn't a dream. So I Googled this thing. And turns out I was in the middle of the Northern Hemisphere's only dark sky, gold-tiered dark sky reserve, which has a very particular view of constellations you will never ever see anywhere else in the Northern Hemisphere. And that's when I had this philosophy to myself that really something very, very unplanned called for a memory like that, which I'll never ever forget in my life. Thank you.
Oh. Look at that story, Aditya. I like the description that you had. Very vivid description. Was you as if you created a picture with your words. and really nice philosophy that moments. It was really excellent. The only thing that I think you could have done better is the start. You said first day was here, so bear with me. Instead, just say, coming on, put it in a question that have you ever been staged the first time and you feel the jitters, something like that, and then you still go on. It just makes you an audience relatable that okay, I feel that, he feels that, so they'll just be more inclined to listen. Apart from that, very descriptive, very vivid, and a really strong call to action. Good. Who else would like to volunteer? Anyone from the online audience? Vivek, would you like to share your speech?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay, what's your speech title?
Uh, Take the ownership and don't blame others.
Okay. Okay, Vivek, take the ownership and don't blame others. The stage is yours.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry for leaving them when something has come up. So I'll do it. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So have you any time blame others for your own failures? I did it, and that I learned a lesson. I learned a most important lesson from that incident. I want to share my CA final first attempt journey. So I used to blame others for why I'm not able to study. Like if there is a family issues, then I complaints that this is why I'm unable to study. And if there can be noise in neighborhood, if friends calling for the party, then I always complain that that's why I'm distracting. I want to share some small incident like I and my brother was sharing Zoom. So I used to study at night. So I complained my brother that he when he sleep peacefully, then I feel sleepy. So I requested him to move out of this room because it is distracting me. But once he left the room, moved to another room, the situation was worse. So there are multiple scenarios where I used to blame others and got distracted. But and I gave my attempt and I did not clear that attempt. So after that, I was fully focused and I was just focused on my study and remove all the distractions and I focused my directions. And while I was preparing for second attempt, after a time I realized that the situations are same, but my reaction is totally different. Okay, I don't remember that who is sleeping in my room, and there is some noise in the neighborhood. I don't blame others. I don't care that my friends are going for the party and all. And if there are some family issues as well, so I don't distracted from the issues. So I realized on the particular situation that we can't control the situations, but we can control our acts. Okay, so it is that take the ownership, and you are the responsible for your own acts. So I learned a lesson from that situation, and I cleared in that attempt. So this is my story, and I also request everyone to start taking the ownership because you are the only responsible for your failures and successful. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for sharing that introduction with us, Vivek. Okay. Have you ever failed and blamed on others? Isn't that sometimes you really do to just get out of a misery? Great way to start. I like the stories that you shared that when you used to blame your brother because somehow you were not able to study because when he was there, but when you moved out, it was still the same. So you realize somewhere that you are the problem, not the other person. How I think this story can be better is you mentioned about that you were studying for an exam and you gave two attempts. What
Yeah.
was that exam?
CA final. CA final.
Tell us in the
Oh, yeah.
story, okay? Because it made
Hmm.
me question, what is that exam he's preparing for? I want to know more about that.
Hmm.
and you moved out of the room. And how did you start concentrating? How did you took ownership back to yourself? Share that as well. But a
Hmm.
very strong conclusion that start taking ownership, because situations, you can't really control situations, but you can take ownership of your own actions. Great job there. Good.
Thank you.
Okay. Who else would like to go next?
Ayushi, I can go.
Huh?
No,
Rhythm?
no, if
Okay.
yeah, yeah, if someone else is coming, it's fine. I can.
Next. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
sure.
do one in person, one online. So, okay, come. What's your name?
Aditya.
Aditya. What's your speech title?
An unexpected outcome.
An unexpected outcome. Aditya, an unexpected outcome.
Hi. Okay. So when you're really down and out, you actually can come up with inner strength that can take you places. So just imagine for yourself, you're 17 years old in a hospital room, hooked to machines, and death is like in front of you, then and there. Okay. I was in this situation 20 years ago in an emergency room, and I had just given my 12th exams, and I didn't know how my life would turn out to be. Uh, Multiple things happened on that day: a cardiac arrest, a diagnosis which was, I mean, a diagnosis which was terminal, could be terminal, and that led me to anyone in that situation would end up thinking that it's a doomsday situation. Somewhere I was happy, okay, that at least I was in the hospital at that time. Okay. Went through a coma, went through emergency dialysis, my kidneys had failed. A very funny incident happened when I went for the ultrasound. Okay, so the lady, I was just 17 years old. I'm still short. I was shorter at that time. So I looked like a 12-year-old or 13-year-old at that time. And the lady who was doing my ultrasound, she just yelled, "Where are the kidneys?" And everyone around was, oh, everyone was in shock. My family, my parents, everyone. But going through that experience, going through the surgery, everything, I I always had that framework or my frame of mind that once all of this is done, right, my life would be very good, right? I will have the energy to do things. I will succeed in my life. I could do more things. And that is how I spent 4 months on dialysis, got through the surgeries. And just imagine, 3 days after my surgery, I was jumping outside my ICU. Okay. So this was my story. And the only message I want to give to everyone that in any situation, okay, howsoever bad you might feel it is at that point, at that point of time. But if you change the perspective, there's a silver lining in all the situations. Either it will make you mentally strong, or you will gain a new perspective of how things need to be done. Thank you.
Okay. Aditya, I really like the way that you started the quote that when you are down and about, there is an inner strength that keeps you lit. I really like that quote. Got my attention immediately. And I like the stories that you shared, very descriptive. There is a really particularly talking about the word imagine. When you say imagine death is in front of you, so it just immediately paints a picture in the mind. Another good way of captivating the audience. uh I think you spend a lot of time about the struggle part and less about the jumping outside and being happy part. I would like you to focus slightly there as well, because towards the start it was a really heavy topic, because then a 17-year-old kid fighting dialysis. I would also have slightly, if time permitted, would like to listen how you came out and how you started, your perspective changed. But a very powerful message that changed perspective, and it's a silver lining. Great job. Okay, Rhythm, you
Yes,
are
Ayushi.
next.
Yeah, sure.
What is your speech title?
So, Ayushi, my speech title is I can try but cannot control outcome.
Okay, Rhythm, I can try, but you cannot control outcome.
Hello, everyone. So, has it ever happened to you that you lost something your mobile phone, your bag, something precious to you? Has it ever happened? Anyone?
Yeah.
Happened with a lot of us, right? So this happened with me twice within the span of 6 months when I was in college. And things which were lost were really precious. But it taught me a very important lesson, which I want to share with all of you. This happened with me when I was in my internship. I was living with my friend Krishna, and we were very close friends. We used to travel to office through auto. One day, he was very excited because he was going back to his home after a long time. He was very excited about that. He packed his bag, all of that. And in the hurry, he left his bag within the auto. We both were very worried. I was thinking, maybe you will have important documents, he will have something more precious. But bag only had his clothes which were not cleaned. But to get back that bag, he tried his best. He went to the security cameras and asked them that it contained very precious documents when there was none. He checked all the cameras and tried to find out the auto driver, but unfortunately he could not. But looking at all the effort that he put in, it really taught me that you need to try instead of just accepting that whatever has happened. You cannot do anything. Now, as they say, things repeat. After a 6 months, same thing happened to me with my another friend, Aditya. We went to a mall, and this time he again lost his bag. But this time it was more precious things. He has laptop in his bag and some few important documents. And he was in the state where he was, so sad. He was almost give up. Like, what will I do? There will be a lot of issues. But from the previous experience, I knew that we should still try. So we did whole round of investigation. We went back to that auto stand where all the autos came together. We tried to explain what is the picture of that man, how does he look, and ultimately we went to his home and get back his bag. And he luckily he had all his stuff within the bag and nothing was lost. This time we tried and we got the success. So these incidents taught me that although this is a very small incident about bag, but in our life there will be much bigger instances where you need to try, and sometimes you will fail, but other times you will definitely get success. And trust me, when you get that success, you will be really proud of that and you will really cherish those moments. That's why I say I can try, but I cannot control the outcome. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Rhythm. I really like that you started with a question and paused for audience responses, which we often tend to forget. Great job. You used even characters. You used the definition of story. You had emotion, you had characters, and you had a setting. Good job. When you were telling the story about Krisha and your friend Aditya, somewhere along the line I was questioning, why is he talking about his friend's story? Why is he not talking about his story? Because your question was, have you ever lost something precious to you? And I was wondering, what did he lose? Spend time on your story as well. But now that you have shared your friend's story, I like the message that you shared that when you were watching your friends losing their precious belongings, you got a realization that even if things don't go right, or even if you fail to do something, you still try. Good job. Strong message. Okay, we'll have one more speaker and then we'll move forward. What's your name?
Harsh.
Harsh. Come, what's your speech title?
It's figuring it out.
Figuring it out. Harsh, figuring it out.
To all the online and offline audience, are you guys comfortable? Yeah. Hope I will be too. Well, my heartbeat is not letting me do that. So, a very good morning to all. My name is Harsh. It is one of those unique and popular names which has meanings in both English and Hindi. In Hindi, it is happiness, and in English, it's Harsh. So, I am natively from Bihar, but I was born and brought up in West Bengal. And coming to the story, like my childhood was joyous and simple, like we all had. It was simple. A lot of nostalgic moments were there. And then growing up has brought us a lot more complexities. A quick fact about me is that I have been living in boarding school since class 6. And unlike in a day boarding setup, it is much more fun. Like when you have friends 24 cross 7, the word loneliness and privacy simply doesn't exist in your dictionary. And then we grew up there, we studied together, we cried together, we lived together. And then growing up brought a lot more complexities. The universe conspired, and I landed up doing BTech in ocean engineering. Ever heard of this department before? Trust me, I have also not heard it about this before counseling. And then I did my BTech, and right now I am an analyst in Deloitte in electricity and energy sector. And that doesn't mean you can call me if there's any power cut at your place. So yeah, I'm working here. I'm into corporate right now. So there is no proper conclusion to my story because it's a movie still going on, waiting for a lot of hooks, twists, and conclusion at the day. For figuring it out, I am trying to explore a lot of things, and I believe if I keep moving and exploring, my purpose will meet me halfway. So that is what it is. Still trying to figure it out. Thanks a lot.
That was excellent. I think
Then I take some small.
you want to, okay.
Or maybe this can be done later also. Is there any section also?
We have table topics. You can use the framework in table topics. Okay. Okay. Harsh, are you comfortable? Good question. And you addressed the in-person and audience as well. I like how you started. You followed the timeline approach. You started with your name. I'm assuming maybe at birth they would have given you started with the very start to this moment. Good job. Childhood, your college, your working history helped me understand you a lot. Great. I like that you still said that even though you were not clear what the message is, you still gave us a message that life is like a movie with a lot of twists and turns and hook, and it will keep moving forward. So great job. It was actually a really nice speech and very authentic. Okay, well, with this, we come to the end of the workshop, and the floor is now open to any question and answers that you might have, questions that you might have, and I will answer your questions. Any questions? Online, in-person audience?
So it should be related to the framework that you taught, or it can be anything related to public speaking.
This framework is applicable to all. I'll cover what you can do after the question and answer what you'll get out of this. I have a specific slide for that. We'll cover that. We'll come to that. But good question. What else? I'll answer your question in detail.
I have one question, Ayushi. How do you improve bringing in more emotions to your storytelling? How you can improve that?
Okay. By being authentic. Just by being authentic and the way what you're feeling, just feel that in the moment. When you shared your story, Rhythm, about when your friend had lost his laptop and important documents, were you scared for him? Were you worried for him? Share that. Not only saying that I was worried my friend had lost his document, but show that worry, right? The best example that I can think of is mothers. Mothers tend to get really angry, really worried, really happy, and you don't have to just, you can just tell from their voices, right? Because it's felt in their voices in an authentic way. When you do that authentically in your story, you would be able to convey emotions.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Anyone from in person?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment.
What?
So, regarding the hook part, I mean, I could imagine use the aunties in the society going from one house to another. Have you heard about that thing? What has happened? The best example of an hook, which you can
Yes.
imagine.
Yes, absolutely.
I have one question.
Uh-huh.
So, whenever I watch these speakers like Josephine and all those experienced speakers, I observe a fact that they also get only 5 or 6 minutes or 7 minutes. But it feels like an eternity. Like when they speak, it feels like they have spoken for a long time. The way they speak. But that doesn't happen to me or any like less experienced foreign speaker. That feels like it's like it is rushing.
Mm.
Yeah. So how to like reach that level? What do they do to make us feel like that?
The answer is they are in the moment. They are reliving those moments. So, for example, when I was listening to her story, I could think of my best friend's story because I could relate to her. I had a best friend who I used to share lunch with. And I even gave a speech. I don't know if anyone would have listened, but I even gave a speech. And when she talks about her friend's wedding that she wasn't invited, the day I got my friend's invitation that she's getting married, her speech was the first thing that came to my mind. And I was like, do I want to feel the regret that she felt on that stage? No. And I wanted to be a part of her wedding, my best friend's wedding. So the way you, not only for that 5 to 7 minutes, but even after the person walks away from your speech, the way you make them feel the emotions, connect with them at a human level, is you yourself go back to that moment, feel those emotions on this stage. That is the answer. I know it's very difficult. It's still a work in progress and it takes years of practice, but it happens, gradual progress. And once it happens, it really exponentially results. It gives exponential results. Answer that question?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question? No? Okay. I'll go back to the final part of the workshop and then we'll conclude. So this is where your first question gets answered. Okay. Now, your club. Okay. You don't even see me, but this probably. Huh. Your club is your launch pad. Why do I say that? Because what we covered today about the story, the storytelling framework, and the speech template, this can be used in your prepared speeches and table topic speeches, right? In our club, we have prepared speeches 5 to 7 minutes and table topics 1 to 2 minutes. You have seen it how it's done in 5 to 7. You have did it yourself for 2 minutes. Then a friend's wedding. You will come across many places where you would have to give a speech of a special event. Could be a friend's wedding, could be a big milestone like 25th wedding anniversary of a parent. This is where you can use to give them a speech. Then an interview. Has interview ever asked, tell me about yourself? What you just did here on this stage, tell them. They would like to know. This template would come in handy. Then, at work, have you ever created annual reports? Annual reports, or you would have given annual presentations or town hall meetings. If you ever get a chance to speak there, use this framework. Don't be like those boring speakers that makes you want to sleep. Be interesting. And you know now how to. Then employee onboarding. Employee onboardings, you know how they are. They're just a checklist you have to go through and done. The way you can really get them to be a part, speech template. Not only for a speech, but anything. Tell them about your department. Tell them about what happens there. This is your template. Then knowledge transfer sessions at work. Again, they can get boring at times. I'm not saying that you need to share a personal story and make them laugh or other than that. But there are work stories that you might want to share using that story, share a concept that helped you solve a big customer problem. Use that. Client demo. There would be a time where you might have to give a demo or you already have done that. This is where it comes in. When you're giving a presentation, this will come in handy. Could be used for documentation as well, to keep a record of what you have covered or what you want other person to read. This is where it comes in handy. Okay. Yeah, this is the last one. So my point for this slide was basically, you may not have an opportunity outside to practice multiple times, right? Client demo happens one, and it's either it excels or it goes horribly. But at your club here, even if it goes horribly, that's fine. This is your playground. This is a place where you can practice multiple times. That's why I say this is your club, your launchpad. This is your launchpad. And you have the framework on how to make it a success and where it will help you make it. Right? Well, that was my workshop. Thank you so much for coming and standing. And now I hand back the stage to Toastmaster Vidushi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayushi. It was indeed a wonderful session, and I'm sure all of us are going with a lot of pointers and lessons that we can apply in future. So thank you for that. So hi everyone, let's move to the next section, which is the table topic section. And we have our table topic master today, which is Toastmaster Saurav. I'll welcome him. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidushi. Good afternoon, all. So are you guys ready for a table topic, both online audience and offline audience? Do you get
Yes.
voices tools? Yes.
Yes.
One of the most exciting segments of our meeting is the table topic section. This is where we practice the art of thinking on our feet. The rules are simple. Guess you can participate as well. I will give you a topic on the stage, and you have 1 to 2 minutes to share your thoughts. Remember, there are no right or wrong answer. What matters is how confident you express yourself. So, who will come first on the stage, or should I call them by their name? Online audience?
I can.
Yeah. What's your name?
Aditya.
Aditya. So Aditya, your topic is dream big. Guess Aditya. Dream big, dream big. Aditya, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Saurabh.
Yeah.
So dreams, or I would say my thought process have taken me long way where I am right now. I still have to achieve a lot of things. I'm still dreaming. I dream to have my own place with a kitchen and a farm at a mountain place. I'm basically from Jammu, so I would love to buy a place and build a dream house and have my dream kitchen over there. So dreams, it's not when I was young, I started to look having dreams. It has been still when I'm approaching fourth decade of my life, I'm still dreaming about it. It started with dreaming about having a startup at age of 17, after going through all the medical issues that I went through. But I participated in a business plan competition, won that, but somehow I could not implement it. But I didn't stop dreaming. I dream and taking things forward. Putting those dream in actions is actually how I want to be. So I love cooking, right? So I think about what I can cook. I look at new things and then come up with the recipes as well. So yeah, dreaming has been a very important aspect. My friends usually end up saying you have a new thing or new idea every now and then. That is because of the fact that I dream about it. I really want to do it. Now I'm fixed at that kitchen, a farm that is already in my mind, and I know that I will achieve that.
Thank you. What a wonderful speech. Like, I have a dream to buy a Porsche. Now comes the second
topic, we will, yeah, sure. Toastmaster Vidushi, your topic, an act of kindness, Toastmaster Vidushi.
Who wants this 50 rupees note? I'm giving for free. Who wants it?
I raised my
Okay,
hand first.
I see multiple people. I crumbled it. Who wants it? Sir, you still want it. Why is that?
It still has the value.
Right, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, people try to crumble us, pull us down, and yet we have the same value, like this 50 rupee note. I have had multiple experiences in life where people have pulled me down. Yet, on the other hand, I have also met people who are kind to me. And it is the kinder people that I still remember, that is still value. It is kindness that people will value in future. So I was recently watching a reel and a person was talking about Ratan Tata. We all know about Ratan Tata. He was telling that after he died, not even a single person talked about how much money he had earned or what was the value of his empire. Everybody talked about his dog, his kindness. Shantanu, who used to work with him, he used to talk about how he was while he was working, how he used to talk to people. So it is kindness that matters. So let's be kind to each other. Thank you.
Any online ID, any guest or online audience, we want to participate?
Yes, Saurabh.
Uh,
Sudhir.
Shudhir, please open your camera. Hi, Shudhir. Your topic, read a book, Shudhir.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Yeah, thank you.
So, uh, so the topic was very interesting. So, how many of you are interested in reading books? I know. So, yeah. So, I am also very in that way that I'm also uh, like I'm also um, find myself to reading books. So nowadays I got a new book from my friend's recommendation, that is like Atomic Habit. So that was like, so every small change that you pick and you implement, and from every small point of view, it will make a like big impact in your life. So in that book, that shows like the one guy who was in like an early stage of his life, who is got medicalized, and he's not able to do the things by himself alone. So in that book, he told that so how he overcome, and so even doctors said like he will not do any things by himself entire over period of life. But the guys overcome this situation. He do very well. He came up from that situation. He doing sprints and start from the beginning. He like unable to walk properly as well. So for initially he's like starting a taking a slow take, and by the time he like uh, able to like walk properly and run. So he overcome this situation, and he can able to like do a proper sprint as well. So in that book, I learned like so how we implement our uh, any important thing in small aspect, so small like any like chunk of parts. So using this, we can achieve any goal in our life. So books is a way play a very important role. So like I suggest like the Atomic Habit, such kind of book. So you should also like read that book. Thanks.
Thank you, Shruti, for your participation.
Yeah.
Rupender, you want to try? I'm
Sure,
audi-
sure.
Rupender, you want to try? I think.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your topic is wealth of wisdom. Wealth of wisdom. Rupender.
Let's talk about wealth or wisdom instead of wealth of wisdom, because if you choose between wealth or wisdom, you will inevitably end up with wealth. Mr. Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and very welcome guests. If you come from a software development background, you will understand those two accursed words, use cases. I want to present a couple of use cases to you. Let's say that you're going to choose between wealth or wisdom. And if you already have wealth, then you don't really need to make a choice, right? You could go for wisdom, but I've seen usually people who have wealth, for them, wisdom is more of a luxury. Let's look at it from the flip side. Let's say that you are in search of wisdom. My experience has been that what you possess in wisdom can and will ultimately get you the wealth that you're looking for. But all the wealth in the world is not going to get you the wisdom that you need. I was in an organization. I'm a learning and development professional, and I had a run in with a very senior person. At the time, I was told to keep quiet, and I was with my boss the following day. My boss was admonishing me that maybe you should not have said what you said. I said to him, sir, we are trainers, we are learning and development professionals. We can train 10 people like them, but 10 of them cannot create one person like us. That is the power of wisdom. So you're saying wealth of wisdom? I say wealth or wisdom, and my choice is wisdom, because wisdom will get wealth. Wealth will not get wisdom. Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you, Rupender. Yes, Raj, your topic is just imagine, Raj, version over to you.
Okay, so it's my first time and my speaking skills is not good as well. So imagine if I goes to imagination, so imagination is the everything. So, but you have to apply it also in your day-to-day life. And I also imagine sometimes, but I used to imagine a more. I'm type of person which cannot apply it day-to-day life. And actually, I started imagination from when I was in giving my 12th examination, and I was sitting in my English exam and writing an essay. And I just imagine that how will I write these 500, 600 words. So I just start imagination and goes beyond imagination. And it shows me that if you goes to imagine anything, so you can create a picture on your mind and it will create a full movie. But if I when I joined the college and there is a pressure on me that in upcoming 3 years you have to join a company and earn money. So I start doing that imagination in my working skills also. So at last, you have to imagine, and imagination is a powerful thing. If anybody can imagine, he and she can also be able to do great in his life. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, we have a shortage of time, so I'm wrapping up here. And thank you all the participation to participate in the table topic section. Now I am handling this stage to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vidushi. Over to you.
Hi everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the table topics section and a great session by Saurav. So now moving ahead, I would like to call the timer first to share the timer report, then we can move to the evaluation section. Rhythm, over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Vidushi. So I'll be presenting the timer report, and first of all, I would like to congratulate everyone because everyone has tried to keep the boundaries of the time limit. So we started with the workshop from Toastmaster Ayushi. So including the workshop and the Q&A section, it took 1 hour 5 minutes, which is well under the 1 hour 10 minutes allotted time. Then for the table topics, we had multiple speakers. So first is guest Aditya. He took 1 minute 48 seconds. Toastmaster Vidushi took 1 minute 10 seconds. Toastmaster Sudhir took little bit longer, 2 minute 50 seconds. Toastmaster Rupinder sir also took 2 minute 30 seconds. Guest Raj took 1 minute 10 seconds. So this is my report for today. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Vidushi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rhythm, for sharing the detailed report. So now I'll move to the evaluation section, and I would like to call back Ayushi on the stage with her evaluations. Over to you, Ayushi.
Okay. I am back with table topic speaker evaluation. Starting with our first speaker, Aditya. His topic was Dream Big. I am still dreaming. Such a beautiful way to put it. Because dreams never stop, even if it's a little kid or a fully grown adult, dreams, we can still dream. And I liked that you have a dream of having a farm and a kitchen and a beautiful house in the mountains. And the way that you shared your stories, it really made me feel that you have a lot of dreams and aspirations, and there's nothing that will stop you. That is excellent. I was only towards the end questioning that now that you have shared about your dreams, what do you want me to do? Should I also start dreaming like you? Should I also start thinking about coming up with a lot of new recipes or starting my own startup? A message would have given an audience a takeaway. Good job on your speech, though. Vidushi, an act of kindness. I really liked the demonstration of the 50 rupee note that you did. That was really creative. And you crumbled it. You showed us the value that there is a lot of pressure, not in terms of monetary, but many other pressures that we go through. But that doesn't mean that we will let it crumble us. And you showed it with a really great example of Ratan Tata. And the message, it was really very clear. Let's be kind to each other. I would have also liked to hear about a story of when you felt like your pressure was crumbling, but in spite of lashing out at others, you decided to be kind. Because I'm wondering, we all are like corporate people, and uh, some bosses might have been putting a lot of pressure to complete. But instead of shouting at other people and throwing around mistakes here and there, we still decided to be kindness. So we still decide to be kind. That is a suggestion to share your story, and then from your story, use the example of Ratan Tata and then share your powerful message. Let's be kind to each other. Good job. Sudhir, read a book. I liked you started with a question. How many of you are interested in reading a book? And then you started on sharing about atomic habits and a very strong message that books are important. My question throughout was, why would I need to read about atomic habit? You could have shared a story which led you to the book and how it made a difference in your life. That would have been more compelling. It was already compelling, but I would have liked you to make it a little more compelling. Great job on giving a speech. Rupinder, wealth of wisdom. I really like the way that you twisted the topic, wealth and wisdom. And you made it as a use case that if you have wisdom, if in search of wisdom, you can and will get wealth, but the vice versa is not always true. And this powerful statement, you shared a personal example of your own being an L&D profession and your boss making you do something that wasn't wisdom. So I really liked wealth and wisdom, the contrast that you played, and what is more important to you. I would have liked to know. I still am unclear whether I should pursue wealth or wisdom. Perhaps you could have shed some light there.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. Thank you for that. Oh, yes, you did share. Okay, towards the end, if you had a choice, you would have shared go for wisdom and wealth. Right. My apologies. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Raj, just imagine. Imagination. You started by saying this is my first time here. No need to say that. That's totally fine. We always have first times. You could say, just imagine this is your first time on stage and you're speaking in front of a big crowd. Anyone will be able to imagine that because we all are doing it right now. Perhaps consider starting that way. I like that you shared a very relatable example of imagination where you had to use your imagination to write an English essay. I was immediately transported back to my 12th examination where I was struggling to even write a single sentence in the English paper. And I really like that towards the end, the message that you were trying to convey was, if you can imagine, you can achieve it. A really powerful message. Good job. I would have liked to listen more about how you struggled, but towards the end, you did write an essay. I would have liked to know a little bit more, but good job on coming up and delivering your first table topic. And congratulations. Well, thank you so much, table topic speakers, for coming today. That was my evaluation, and now I hand back the stage to Presiding Officer Toastmaster Deekshita.
A big round of applause for Toastmaster Ayushi. Ayushi, what a lovely session. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for such an amazing and enriching session. The tips and the tricks which you have shared today will definitely help us to weave a beautiful story in the future. Toastmaster Saurav, thank you for taking up the role for the first time and you did a fantabulous job. The way you explained the rules and regulations of the table topic, that was amazing. Well done. And I truly appreciate the team engagement today and the well-managed flow of the entire meeting. So definitely we'll be looking forward for more such enriching sessions. So before I move on to the next segment, I just want to highlight two most important announcements. First, membership renewal. So if you haven't renewed your membership yet, now's the perfect time because we have the early bird offer going on and it's still 15th of September. So guys, please gear up, take the advantage of it and stay part of this amazing journey, which is Toastmasters. And second, since we have already started with the first workshop today, so we'll be coming up with some exciting sessions for the near future. Ashish, me and Prince are working behind the scenes, so we'll have more such fun and engaging sessions so that you'll be aware of what's happening and how to use all this, implement all this tricks and tips in your while delivering all your speeches. So stay tuned. And let's hear from a guest Aditya. Can we hear some words from you? How did you like the meeting? What did you feel about the meeting, please? It's on mute actually.
Yeah. So the whole structure of the meeting, everything was well thought of, well planned. Timing was being tracked. I mean, looking at all this, it felt like a lot of effort goes into planning these meetings, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Aditya, for joining us today. Can we hear from our next guest Raghavendra?
Okay, so here's I found the environment is very positive, and I have a fear that I can struggle to speak on a stage, and it's my so I just feel that it's a proper platform that I can improve myself, and it's a great day for me, and I shall be joining it past that, so I can improve my English speaking as well.
Thank you so much, Raghavendra, for sharing your view and joining us today in the Saturday morning. Can we guest Sudhir?
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a great experience for me. It's my second time, so I find suitable this Toastmasters club to join.
Thank you so much, Sudhir, for your participation, and well done. You've done a great job in participating in table topic today. Thank you so much. And let's hear from our DTM, Rupender sir. Rupender sir, any points or anything, pros and cons of the meeting would you like to share?
Um, I just have a couple of suggestions. First and foremost, as a as someone who's been a sergeant at arms more number of times than I care to remember, we never do this, uh, you know, Hitler-like salute and then go about reciting the mission statement and ask the other people to recite the mission statement. I used to do that and do that right in the beginning. And Dr. Punita Singh, she was our past district director. She told me that you don't do that. You just read out the mission statement word for word, and that's pretty much it. So, that is something that you might want to keep in mind. The second thing, and this is a misconception that people have about Toastmasters meeting, is that we are reluctant to speak on religion, sex, and politics. It's not really that. Just remember that our second value is respect. So, as long as you can talk on these subjects in a respectful manner, you are allowed to speak. There is no rule in Toastmasters that says that you can't speak on religion, sex, and politics. It is discouraged, yes, in certain districts, but it is not that you can't speak about it. So do have that clarity in mind. But like you, even I had this misconception earlier. I grew out of it. So hopefully this will help you guys.
Thank you so much, Rupender sir, for giving us those tips. We'll definitely take care of it. Meanwhile, the voting link has been posted in the guest group. Please vote for your favorite role players.
You are also a guest, right?
No.
Yeah,
It's been posted in the guest group as well as Aditya. Are you there in the guest group?
met for the first.
I'll get at it. The guest. I'm not in the guest group.
You're not in the
Okay,
guest.
somebody can.
The link. You're
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's done voting. I have just received 6 responses so far. Just wait for 1 more minute and Raghavinda, you're there in the guest group?
Yeah.
You're not there.
Yeah, he is.
Yes. Okay. So there you are there, right? In the guest group.
I'm out. Just wait.
I didn't get your response. Are you there in the guest group? Are you added in the guest group?
Yes, I'm voting
Okay,
that.
sure. Yeah.
Let me share it in Zoom as well. If I can.
Yes, I have given.
Okay, so let's start with our announcements. Okay.
I'll just share
So-
it in the Zoom as well, Dikshita.
Okay, all right. I think it's there for everybody in the. Okay, I'll just wait for like a couple of seconds more.
Dikshita, can I share the takeaway material and the feedback form as well?
Yeah, it's there.
On Zoom. On Zoom.
Yeah, it's in the form, in the
Okay.
Google form itself. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll just start with the best role player. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vidushi, table topic master, Toastmaster Saurav, and timer, Toastmaster Rhythm. Any guesses? Okay, it's Toastmaster Saurav. Congratulations, Saurav.
Congratulations.
Ayushi, can you just take up the stage? Ayushi can take up the stage, actually. Ayushi can take up the stage.
Okay.
Rhythm, you can remove me from the spotlight. Ayushi and can take up this PO role.
That's okay. Dikshita, come on spotlight. We can do a virtual handshake.
Okay.
Come. Do virtual handshake. Use that. And I forgot how we do that. Let me just take a picture here. And
Done?
yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now let's move on to the best evaluator. Best evaluator is Toastmaster Ayushi.
We just had one evaluator.
Jill, you did a good job today. Congratulations.
I'll just get mine as well. Don't worry.
Handling multiple roles today.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Best table topic speaker, guest Aditya, Toastmaster Vidushi, guest Toastmaster Rupender, guest Sudhir, guest Rajvardhan. Any guesses?
Rupender sir.
Rupender sir.
It's Toastmaster Vidushi.
Oh. Need to come. This one, right? Left one.
Done?
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of you. And before we adjourn the meeting, I just want to announce the same thing again, that please, guys, renew your membership, and it's an early bird going on till 15th of September, and make sure you take full advantage of this journey.